بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. One of the main aspects of fasting is that we leave off things that are permissible for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as we're fasting. Things that would normally be permissible, eating, drinking, and lawful desires, these things are left off and they become unlawful when we are in a state of fasting. And Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Hadith Qudsi, يَتْرُكُ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ وَشَهْوَتَهُ مِنْ أَجْلِي. He leaves off his food, he leaves off his drink, and his desires, halal desires, for my sake. So this is the main element of fasting, leaving off what is normally permissible, but becomes impermissible when we are in the state of fasting. And this concept of leaving something that is permissible for an act of worship is not exclusive to fasting. It is present in all the major bodily acts of worship. The major bodily acts of worship has this concept of leaving off things that are normally permissible, but they become impermissible when you are engaged in that act of worship. So salah is another example of that. When we make the opening takbir, what is it called? It is called takbiratul ihram. Takbiratul ihram. And why is it called takbiratul ihram? Because when you enter into salah, what was previously permitted for you becomes now impermissible for you. It is permissible to talk outside of salah. When you are inside of salah, no more talking. No more talking. إنما هذه الصلاة لا يصلح شيء من كلام الناس. إنما هو التكبير والتسبيح وقراءة القرآن. As Rasulullah says in the hadith, this salah does not befit it that it have anything from the speech of human beings. It is takbir and it is tasbih and it is recitation of Quran. When you enter the salah, there's no more talking. There is no eating, nullifies the salah. Drinking nullifies the salah. Excessive movements and motions nullifies the salah. Turning away from the qibla nullifies the salah. Things that are normally permissible become impermissible in the salah, and this is why it's called takbiratul ihram. Takbiratul ihram. And then when you make the taslim, then all these things become permissible once again. And also for hajj, when you enter into the state of ihram, it's called ihram, same thing. Things that were normally permissible before you enter into that state of ihram become impermissible. You're not allowed to cut your hair or take from your hair. You're not allowed to take from your nails. You're not allowed to have halal marital relations. You're not allowed to put on perfume, and so on. So this concept of leaving off things that are permissible, it is something found in all the major bodily acts of worship. It is found in fasting, it is found in salah, and it is found in the hajj as well. And one of the wisdoms behind this is the concept of tafarruq lil ibadah, to dedicate yourself solely for ibadah. Things can distract you, even permissible things can distract you from your ibadah. And this is why these acts of worship, even things that are permissible, are no longer permissible, so that your mind and heart is clear for ibadah. You don't have to worry about eating and drinking when you're fasting. Now you can worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly with a free heart and a free mind. For salah, for hajj, same thing. So these things that are normally permissible become impermissible, and the wisdom behind that, one of the wisdoms, is that it allows the person to dedicate themselves for ibadah. And this is a high station in which a person leaves off permissible things. We know that, of course, you have to avoid the haram. And this is a concept we call al-wara'. Al-wara' is to avoid things that are haram, things that will harm you in the hereafter. Even higher level than that is what we call az-zuhd, which is leaving off tarku ma la yanfa' fil akhirah. Leaving off what does not benefit you in the akhirah, even if it's permissible. There are things that are permissible, but it will not benefit you in the akhirah, and it may distract you from the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person leaves those things off for Allah's sake. This is a higher level. This is a higher level, and this is the level that we aim to get at when we perform these acts of worship, leaving off things that are even permissible, so that we can dedicate ourselves solely to the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is a level that it's difficult to reach. Normally, it's difficult to reach. The first level, of course, is to leave off all the haram actions, leave those off, leave the doubtful matters. And the higher level after that is to leave off things that even are permissible, but they take you away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the highest level of ibadah, and this is a level that we all will want to strive for, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us all this level of worship. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.